All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I am from OML Embroidery, and today we are going to be working on our garden. And I decided to start off with something that looks kind of difficult. Yeah, thanks, Don. Looks kind of difficult, but it's way easier than you guys think. I think there'll be like a wow factor on here. So first of all, thanks everyone for joining. Cindy King, of course, one our mods are almost always here. Sarah and Karina. Hi, Karina. And Misha, and a lot of familiar names. Let's see, Ronag, Lila, some new people I saw. People were chatting away. Alicia, there we go. I knew I was missing a few. Yeah, Karina, yay, yay. Nice touch, the flowers. Well, thank you very much. I thought I'd put them in my avatar's hair. Sandy, hi Sandy. So the regulars are here, and I noticed there was a few new people, which always makes me happy because this one is going to be good. Check CPU usage. Who are you talking to, Don? My CPU usage is fine, I think. Are you talking to me? You'll have to come up. So, is there a problem with the streaming? Oh, I don't know. Can you see my mouse? I'm new, Marlene. Well, welcome, Marlene. We always like new people. I think it's awesome. No, Don's coming upstairs.
Yes.
What's the matter?
Your audio is a little bit choppy, and I'm just trying to figure out what it is. You're down at 11, okay. It's probably nothing you can do.
There's nothing I can do about
Okay,
it.
that's all.
All right, well, I'll talk slowly then. A little scratchy on the sound. Yeah, it's the internet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it should perk up in a minute, but you guys let me know. So it should be better. So yes, pansies in my hair, and yeah, everyone's gonna get static on the audio because it's from here. It's from me. We gotta wait until it comes back up. I have a big computer, so it's not the CPU usage. What does it say now? Dropped zero. CPU, yeah, it should be fine. I'm hoping it gets better. You guys let me know if you have any real troubles. I don't like scratchy sounding Sue. So, yeah, pansies. Now, pansies come in all different colors, and they're basically the same size, but there's some smaller ones. There's a whole bunch of different things, and you can make this an ish. So what I mean by that is that you can design it how you want because the colors blend, and you can have bright colors. You don't have to do them true to what you see. Um, make it an ish, make it how you want it, make it larger, add more detail. So, are we okay to get started? Marlene says, I've been watching some older videos and we're joining in your sew-alongs. Yay! We're doing some great sew-alongs. Just a reminder to everyone that Saturday is going to be the new dime door sew-along that we're going to do. And it'll be announced by Dime tomorrow. And then Sunday, we're going to continue on with the Anita Good design. Um, it, it's great. I'll put up a picture as soon as I figure out which one we're going to do. There's 10 blocks, and I think it was $5 with the coupon, so remember to use the coupon. So, are we ready to get started on pansies? They look better when they are larger. Yay, dime door. I know. I know. I can't wait to see what it is. The last one was so pretty. I'm gonna come up with a groovy way of doing it because I always do, right? Okay. Isabel says we're ready. So let's go to the working page. And here it is. This is the beginning of your pansy, believe it or not, because we're still working on shapes and everything. And it starts off with a circle. You guys should hopefully be amazed at what you can do with a circle. So the first step to the circle is that we're going to make that wonderful teardrop shape. We've done this a few times. So I just did a circle shape. Now remember, these are shapes. They're not stitches. The stitches in it they're 0. It's artwork. It says down here at the bottom, artwork, 0 stitches. There's no stitches. So you won't be able to stitch this out for sure. But let's go into node mode, which is editing. It's called different things. I call it node mode because I think it's funny. And all I'm going to do right here is I'm going to pull this out. Now, the problem there, you could work with this. The problem there is that it's a curve with, these are Bezier handles. Let me see, can I zoom in a little bit? The Bezier handles, which we're going to be using a bit today, so you guys can play around with them. Sandy, pansies do look like faces. I know, that's why I like them. They look like happy little bunches of people hanging around. So I'm still in node mode, and I'm going to change this one at the end to line. And click apply, and there you go, you have your teardrop shape. Now you don't have to worry about it too much. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but just amending one node changes the whole thing. So I don't know why I have 2 here. Let's get rid of this one, and we're going to move this one over. And now it's a teardrop. It's not really pansy enough yet. So let's go back into node mode, and I'm going to add a few more points. So for this software, I'm going to right click, add point. Your software, you will be able to do this as long as you have digitizing software. And again, I'm going to zoom in because I really want you guys to see this. Now, Bezier handles. What? I know people have a hard time with the Bezier curves, but I'm going to show you how useful they are. Oh, Misha, I love pansies and peonies. Yes, I think I have 7 or 8 peony plants in my backyard. I love them, all different colors. Oh, they're so beautiful. So I'm going to left click and hold on and watch everything change. Look, see, I'm just holding on, and the closer you bring it into the point, the sharper it gets. Do you see how it pulls on it? And it's easy to use. And I kind of like that. It's you have to play around with them. I did an Embrillions video on how to really use them a lot, but this is going to be handy for us. So, okay, now we don't want the end of our pansy to be a perfect circle. We want some wavy waves in it. And this is how you do it. See, I'm just, you could pull it out a bit more. I may want one here, depending on the size that you're making your pansies. But see how easy it is to make, you know, like a random wavy bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, Sandy, thank you very much. It doesn't have to be perfect because nature isn't perfect. And I think that it would look a little bit strange if you had a perfectly symmetrical petal. So we don't want to do that. You can take it down as far as you want. Now I'm making mine kind of big so these details will show. But see how I'm pulling it out and turning it? That's all there is to it. Don't forget to hit apply. All right, so we have a petal. And you can take it down as far as you want, but make sure you leave, say, 1/3 of it. So this is a good exercise for the Bezier curves. And look, I just made kind of a random. If you want it more random, you can pull it out. If you're doing it small, you'll probably only be able to get 3 curves in. So always be mindful of the size. So now we're going to construct our pansy. So I pulled mine out a little bit more and made it a little bit wavy. Either one of these will do. You just don't want a perfect teardrop, right? We don't want that. Now let's see if I can zoom out. There we go, without giving too much away. So the first part we're going to do is we're going to start from the center, and we are going to start from the center and work our way out. So the first part, and also, believe it or not, this petal and this circle are all the pieces that we're going to use. That's it. So once you do one petal that you like, Karina, thank you. Once you do one petal that you like the shape of, I did like this one. It's what we are going to use for the whole thing. So believe it or not, it's easier than you think. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this petal. I actually like the wavy one, and my design isn't going to be as big, so I won't be using this one. And I'm going to copy and paste. There's a lot of copying and pasting here in this one. And I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to rotate it so the sharp point is up. That's one thing that we want. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. That's why I did larger waves. I also kind of distorted the shape by pulling it out like this. So it's not as perfect as this. This one's a little too perfect. But something like that looks better. It looks a little more natural. Ooh, Ronag, thank you very much. I always appreciate it. And this is the center part of our pansy. I don't know why that just slipped my mind. Need more sugar, Dawn. Need more sugar. Jeez. Sugar or caffeine, I don't know. So let's make a little circle, and again, as always, be mindful of your sizes. And this is our starting point. Now, the only thing with this part is that it's not stitches. So we are going to go ahead and transform everything to stitches. Let me put on the right view. Did you actually bring me some?
Hey, you want some?
I guess. Thank you. Oh, I might not finish it. You can help me.
I can help you.
I have water. Thank you. Is there a way to do, is there Bezier curves and hatch? Dawn? Dawn?
Bezier curves and hatch?
I can't remember. I haven't used hatch for a while. I think you can.
I think so.
I think.
Z4 has it.
Yeah, I think you can turn them on and off in hatch. So have a look in your settings and see if you have that choice. Back to our pansy, and all these shapes are the same size. So let's do the darker. Now you can use normally on the pansy. Hopefully I said thank you to Dawn. Thank you. I have tea and just ate two dark chocolate truffles. Yummy. Yes, that would be yummy. So let's convert to satin on this one. And I'm going to change the color. I want something like black. Not necessarily black. We could do brown, a very dark brown. And we're going to convert to complex fill for this one because it might get too big for that. And you want them to overlap, but of course you want the circle to be over that part. So once you have that, you're gonna have something like this. And then what we're gonna do, are you guys ready for this? Let me change that because that's weird. There we go. It's fine like that, just for showing you guys. There's no point me trying to move everything around. I'm gonna make this a copy, of course, because we're gonna need it this size eventually. Now let's zoom out because I don't want you guys to think this is too weird looking. It's not yet. We're gonna make this a little bit smaller. not too much, and we're going to kind of tuck it in there. So I'm going to move this guy over. This is what the goal is, but we can do a little bit of tweaking along the way. So I'm going to change this to black. It actually looks very strange to me, so let's enjoy it a little bit with black. Now we can, this is the center part. This is, the blue is the second layer, but we can make it, say, purple. How about I click on it, and there we go, purple. Nice bright colors. You can do whatever colors you want, and we just kind of want it tucked in there. You can leave a little bit of space on this part, and then it is just a matter of copy and paste. Copy and paste, and then of course turn it around. Now this one is going to be tucked in underneath, and you can remove stitches if you want, but just have a little bit of space. Now another thing you can do at this point is that you could pull it out a little bit just so it's slightly different from that if you're picky about it. Let's just do paste because we already copied it, and we're gonna flip this one, and we're gonna put it kind of here. So these ones you can squish it a little bit if you want, or stretch it out. See, there's a lot of space there. That's okay, we can fill it up, but maybe squish it out a little bit. And I'm going to bring this in a little bit better. So this is the center part of our pansy, and it looks pretty good. I kind of played and made these parts a little more curvy, but those are details you can work on. If you don't, mine here that I just did is a little bit off. This part needs to be smaller so it doesn't look so strange. But there you go. See, I just adjusted that, and it looks better to me already. Okay, so the next thing that you can do, if you're doing it larger, if you're doing it smaller, it probably won't matter, is change the angles. See, all the angles of these are up and down. It looks okay. Sometimes it makes it look a little bit better if you do this. So apply, see how it changes it? And also we always got to remember how the light, you know, reflects on it and will look different. So this is just a, you know, detail, pro level, we'll call it, pro tip. There we go. And that is a nice way of doing it however you want to. But see, I think it looks better than this one. And definitely when you go far away, like stand back, I call it, which just means zoom out, I think you'll like it better. So far, so good. If there's any questions, just let me know. So that is the center of it. Remember, it does not have to be perfect. This is going to look fine. Now we're going to do another layer. I'm not sure why I have two of everything. Just so I could set it up, I guess. So the next step, the next thing that we're going to do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, is look at these shapes. Isabel, thank you. Look at these shapes here. What do they look like? Do they look almost exactly this shape? Yes, they do. And that is the really, really cool part of it. Now I am going to switch to my tool here, and I'm going to move this up and see if I can keep that one in view so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to leave this one small, and I'm going to take the petal, and we're just simply going to make it bigger, and I'm going to change it to yellow, and we're going to place it so it kind of goes behind this one. And if it's over like what I just did, you just need to change the order. See, I just went through everything. Looks like a lion. Yes, it will look even more like a lion, which is cool. So I think we will move this around so you guys can see. So far it's pretty easy, isn't it? Pretty easy? Wrong way. I always do that. I don't know why I can't remember it. Two back. There we go. So now we have this underneath, and we can do the, remove overlaps after. We'll do it after. So with the first one, just kind of leave it the way it is. We don't necessarily want how I have it right here. It's perfectly lined up. It looks perfectly perfect. So I'm going to move it down and then maybe change the angle of it, so it's a little bit off. We're going to be putting more around. These are different parts, so you don't want them to, merge. I like this size, so I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. I like them to overlap a bit, so look, I'm just pulling it out. You don't even have to enter into node mode, just to make it a little bit different. And again, remember, you don't want them perfectly lined up. I like what I have so far. It's coming together. So what did we use? We used a teardrop and a circle for this. So hopefully you guys are going, wow, this is awesome. Because I think it's really cool. Let's flip it, or you can change the, do it here, right here on the circle. And I kind of like that one. I'm going to pull it down a little bit to meet or cover up or overlap. I kind of don't want it showing. So it's just by eye. Now you see it's not, even though we're using the same shape, it's not symmetrical by any means. So I'm going to paste again. This is all we're doing. And I love how it turned out. I actually meant to stitch it out, but I didn't get a chance. So, okay, look, pull it out a little bit. And this is one leaf. It's not a leaf though. This is one behind. Now that looks a bit too symmetrical for me, so I'm going to move this guy over. And it's going underneath, but don't worry, we'll work on that. And I'm going to make it a bit smaller, just to make things look a little bit different. And maybe a bit taller, maybe wider. This is where you get to play. Let's paste one more so we know it's right here. Give it a turn and put it, and it should be at the very back, and see how that looks. Well, it isn't, but you know what? I kind of like it. You can move it over. I kind of like it so far. This one we just kind of, I'm going to turn the angle. So it's a little bit of playing here. You could take a picture of your pansies in the garden, or if you go to a garden shop or something like that, just so you can get a feel for the layers. But that's it, basically. That is our pansy done. Now, this one's a bit plain, but clearly it is a pansy. You don't have to, do anything else. Nice bright colors, and it's perfect. You can play around with it and tweak the details on it as much as you want. I kind of like this one having the spaces in between right there. So maybe I was a little bit too hasty with my stretching out there. So this is when you get to play and move around and get it similar like that. Maybe these ones are too big. You can do anything. Now is for the fun part. When you have this much done, let's check the size so I know how much detail to put into my pansy. So I'm just going to check the size. It's 4x4, so it's a good size. So we should be able to do a few things. Now, the first thing I'm going to do on this guy is change the angles, because I think I want it, it's hard to see because it's the yellow. I think I want the angle to go differently for each one, and that will give it kind of more of a realistic look. I just really like changing the angles, just I don't know what the word is, like balance it, make it different than every other petals, because remember we used the same shape, and you can kind of look at it and see that it's the same shape. But so we want to make it just a little bit different. I love playing with how the light touches on when you look at something. It's just simply a great effect. So, are you guys with me so far? Pansies are such happy looking plants. Yes. Yes, they are. I really like them, and that's why I started off with them. And plus, it's easier than you ever thought to do it. So, again, like this is 4 inches, so we can do some details. Let me show you the details that I did on this one. So one of my favorite things to do, and if you look at a picture of a pansy, they have a lot of blended colors. Isabel, they look like there's many hours of work in them. I know. I know. Isn't that the coolest part? And you can make them look even more. Now remember, when you are using the color blend, it looks pretty harsh here on the computer screen, but when you stitch it out, it will blend better. And I think that's really cool. I really like it. So there's a couple things we can do, but again, if you Google like pansies, thank you, Chris Yost. I'm glad you're here. When you Google pansies, you'll see there's a lot of color blending going on. So it's easy to do it this way. I think that looks great. I think it would stitch out great. I did it a couple of different ways. I think an angle change would be in order, but so it'll be more purple there and more yellow at the end. So the yellow's going to show up, but it'll be a beautiful blend. And I thought that was really cool. I thought that was just an easy way of doing it. The other thing I did was I added in some detail work on it. Just more little bits of colors, and that'll give it more of a balance. I wonder what color blending with variegated thread would look like. If you had 2 variegated threads, it would be very busy, but it would certainly give it a nice effect. So another thing I did on this I want to, blend it a little bit. There's a couple things you can do. Watch this. We can copy, and we're going to paste right over that one. So there's 2 sitting there. And I'm not going to do the color blend. I am going to change to satin won't work because it's too long. Just to Tommy, and change no, that went the wrong way. If you go the wrong way, don't worry about it. Let's go this way. We're going to change the density and just give it our own kind of overlay. And it overlaid in yellow because that's how I have it set up. So let's change to another color and see. So that is just changing the density. And I'm going to, did I pick the right one? Yes, I did. The purple. Yes, I did. Make sure you pick the right one. But if you don't, then you can simply undo. Oh, it's doing both of them. That's why. Okay, so let's undo. It happens. That one too heavy. That one. Let's see. Yeah, that's going the wrong way. So it's this one. And didn't I have it as purple? It's okay. You can always navigate yourself out of, whatever you're doing. It's easy to do. So purple, it's because I copied and pasted. There we go. So this is the purple that I want. I'm going to put it back in place here. I could do Control Z, but I didn't. And now we're only doing one. So let's do apply. And the other thing here is we just simply want to remove the underlay. We don't want any underlay. But this is all that you need to do for it. So let's get rid of that. And that would be actually kind of pretty. I kind of think that would work. believe it or not. We got to remove the travels and all that kind of stuff. And I find that making the, let's see, jagged type, that actually is going to work for another part. All the times that you've seen the jagged type. Lila, ooh, thank you very much, Lila. I'm going to change it from chisel to square and watch these edges here in purple. The purple we're still working on. And doing that makes it a little bit neater, I think. So let's move this. You can also do manually do an outline on some of it so the layers show up of what you're doing. Even with this down here, this is just a travel line. Let's see if we can fix that. Make sure I'm on the purple one. I am now. You can see that it's highlighted. Let's see if we can change that by moving the start and stop point. So let's try just another area. I really don't want it on the outside. No, it's not going to. Okay, so I'll have to find out in this software where it is. I don't know offhand how to get rid of travel lines. I'm sure it's here somewhere, but I just don't know offhand. Let's move over. So that's yet another idea of how to decorate it and make it look good. You could also, you know, change the angle of it. And remember we moved these ones? Let's try something like this. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Just a little bit different. So all I did was mess with the density. It's a bit straight. I think that wiggle line is okay. So that's one way. So let's play with a color blend on a piece like this. Now this is underneath. That's fine. And I changed that. So let's play with the color blend. And with this one, I always forget to change it. Auto, we want purple, which is number 8, and apply, and we'll have a look. See, that is kind of the same as that. So if you had maybe a dark yellow, a darker or a lighter yellow for this second part minus the travel stitch, that would look good. But look at this one. Is that not awesome? I'm going to go in here. Yes, jagged type we should be using, and change it to square again, because I think that'll make it look better. Look how pretty that is. Just like that. Just like that. I am really happy with that. Is it this one? No, wrong one. Where's the other purple? Oh, it's probably down at the bottom because I added it. Okay, that's fine. So you can leave it like this, and I think that would be amazing. And you can also, this is just one piece. Oh, let me take a drink here. Travel on edge. Okay, that's helpful. Where is it? I probably just missed it. Center line, run stitch, zigzag. It will get rid of it. I just couldn't think offhand where it is. Gradient. Oh, what's this? I have no idea. Cool, though. All right, I'm looking. Just give me a second here. None. I'm going to look into what that is because I think that's pretty cool. Florentine effect would be cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can do that, too. I think that would be awesome. You could also, if you do it big enough, you could also do kind of, it's called projection stitch in here. Last screen showed edge to, I'm just not doing it. Edge travel. Wow. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. So I knew it was there. I just didn't know where it was. So, I mean, that's easy enough. But, and this one I really like. You can play around with it. Let's do this one. maybe this one. Okay, let's try this. So I'm gonna make an open shape, and I'm just gonna follow along. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect here or there. Always remember to less is more when it comes to nodes. Now, in this software, this is how it needs to be done, but in your software, you can probably just change it to Florentine or whatever you want. So now we're going to go here, and it's called projection. So I did an open path and projection. Let's see how that's going to look. Okay, well, we need to change a few things because that is a bit crazy. We want to loosen it up a bit, but you know what? It's a great look. Isn't that a great look? And that's over top. Even there, look, let's move back. Yep, even there. Now for this one, you can change the focal point, I think. I might have the wrong stitch in mind, but you can change the focal point so it looks different. There's also a few other things you could do. You could do the rolling, like when you curve it, and it'll give it a different kind of look or whatever. Is there a minimum for nodes required? About how far apart should they be? Um, I always say less is more. So a perfect example of what I'm talking about, if you want to make a circle, you can grab the circle tool and look, just make a circle, and then look how many nodes there are. So that means when you want to make adjustments, you can move half of the circle just by moving one node. If you had a whole bunch in there, it's too hard to adjust. So less is more, and less will mean more of a perfect curve. So if you're doing like a scallop, 1, 2, and 3, and then you can play around with it and you can get better curves and everything. There's lots of videos on that one. So you can get watching, but less is more. There's no certain numbers, there's no regulations for it. This one I have maybe 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes, 6 or 7, under 10 anyways. And that makes it so, again, if I want to move one part out, I don't have to select a billion nodes. And I want everything to be smooth. So this could be a really good effect. You could play around with how it looks, but it'll give it the impression of like texture, kind of like 3DE. 3DE. So far, I like it. So far, I like it. I like both of them. I like these lines through it. So let's show you a couple of these ones. So what I wanted to do was give it some depth, so it's not just your tatami stitches. So I just took black and I just put one curve in it, and then over here, remember we did this on the other flowers, and then back up again, and maybe all the way up. I don't know how this is gonna look. And then copy this side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I am going back on itself, and if I was doing another one, I'd have a nice connection right there, but I'm not, so I'm going to hit enter. And even that mistake I made is a happy mistake. Let's step back a little bit. How cute is that? Now, the other thing you could do is 3D-ish. Yeah, well, you want to give it some texture. The way I see it is anybody can, with a little bit of an embroidery knowledge, can do tatami. It's what else you do with it that gives it the detail. So even something like that, I could go in and, maybe fix that. Let's see, it's easy to fix. It'll be this one, and then we're going to go into node mode. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to put it to line. and click apply. So that was an easy fix. So that's kind of cute too. You can kind of move them around. This one that I did is pretty darn straightforward. The other thing we can do is, I'm going to go in here, just make a quick little fix. It's almost right. I'm going to change the angles. In this software, again, it's hard to see. There is a line. It's the black dots. You should be able to change angles in any digitizing software. So because they have so many like color blending on the pansies, the white kind of blends into purple, we can do it ourselves. And we can take and we can just do this, but more. So just make kind of random zigzag stitches. They can cross over. I'm gonna have them end here. Probably a side one would look better. And we'll go back a bit more, and this will blend right in. So just random, and then hit enter, and look at that. I was off a little bit here, so forgive me on that one. Let's move it over, and then you won't notice. Look how that looks when you step back. Yes, that's not the best petal to show it on, so maybe we can move it so you can see it better. Not this one, not that one. Where is it? Let me find it. But we can make it look better for sure. There we go. There's a good way of isolating it. I just sometimes get lost. So there. And what we want is the purple to blend out. Okay, got it that time. And we're going to rotate it. And it's simple to do. You can do more, you can do a little less. We'll touch it on the purple and see how that looks. And that'll blend in lovely. You could make it kind of shadow this shape. And, you know, it's just random, and that's what nature is. Angela, thank you very much. That's what nature is. We could, I'll cheat a little bit and bring it out, and then you can see a little bit more. So the more zigzag lines you do, the darker it'll show up. So isn't that pretty like that? You could combine this with the color blend as well. You could combine this with the kind of almost too harsh lines, but again, it'll stitch out even better. And just, you know, randomly do it. So for this one, the purple, you could go around and do it. There's another thing we can do. If you don't want to do that, let me grab one of these little purple inside parts, which I'm not even remotely grabbing. The ones that I grabbed all the time. Jeez, it'll be one of these guys. No, that's yellow. Purple. Purple. I get lost. It's a bit small. There we go. Now we're in the right zone. So we've got one here. And I'm going to take off the underlay because you don't really need underlay on it, because the flower that stitches out first is going to be the underlay. And we're going to play around a little bit with it, but what I want to do, chiseled, that doesn't matter this time. Just let me find it. Hold on. Let me find it. Jagged edge is what we want. Jackie, I dropped off for a little while. Car's back on the road. Well, that is good news. Thank you for letting us know that. Try jagged edge. And I think it's pretty cool. First is the wrong side. I never figure it out. I just try it and see. Oh, the problem is you got to put the value in. So I'm gonna, whenever I don't know what the value should be, I pick an outrageous number. So I'm going to pick 10. Hopefully that's outrageous. And then you can see what happens. And that is incorrect. So I'm going to move it to first. It was correct, but I didn't set it up properly. And look at that blending. Do you see that? That plus that would be awesome. So let's do that. So that's when there's not a whole lot of times where you can use jagged edge, and this is one of them, and I like it. So would we pick 10? And there we go. Oh, see, it's the wrong way. You could do both sides, I guess, but you don't really need to. And look at that. We're blending. You could reduce the density on the little purple parts if you wanted, and that would make them blend right in there as well. But see how nice the jagged part is? See how nice it is? And I think as long as they're not going in the same direction as, remember we changed all the angles, as long as they're not going in the same direction, they're gonna stand out enough. If you have them going in the exact same direction, it's really not gonna work. So that's you know, if you're ever wondering what the heck would I use the jagged edge for, this is it. So we'll do 10 again and see how that looks. Play around with it. I think it's fantastic. Well, I guess that would work too. That's not too bad. Can we do more than 10? Or did I pick the top number? I picked the top number because it won't change. So I think that's awesome. So split, let's try this. Percentage. Oh, let's put it on second. Percentage. That's a little bit more. Let's try absolute. Oh, that's even better. And that's the split satin type, and I think that's cool. No, it's not really changing. Okay, so you could play around with that. You could add to it. So we're doing some manual things, but see where it's down? You can just kind of bring it up and have this stitch out first. So you're going off of your jagged edge and just making it, you know, longer. Just more of a blend, more fun. Not necessarily on the low density stuff, but like this. You can't tell that it's two pieces. Isn't that cool? So that looks more and more realistic. This one, this purple one down here, not so much. It was for another petal, but look how you can do that. And I think actually it's okay over it. So that's a lot of details. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, and it's way easier than what you think. So here, I put a stem on it. So how do you make a stem? Oh, the other thing I did is I made the back two petals solid, and these ones a blend. And I thought that was really cool. But look what you can do. Now we're going to go back into node mode. So it's a rectangle and two circles. And all I did for this one is I made the rectangle into satin stitches, although I tweaked a little bit. Let's go into node mode and I'll show you exactly how I did that. It's pretty easy. So I'm just making it less rectangle-y. We don't want rectangles. There's no flowers with perfect rectangles. So I'm going to add points, and what I want to do is select both points so they move together. See, that's also a little bit too perfect, so I can move it around, but you can select more than one node. Easy enough. This guy is, let's hit apply. This guy's kind of curvy and kind of groovy. That's fine. If you want it to be less perfect, then you can add a couple nodes, play around. Let's do convert to satin and apply. And that's beautiful satin stitches. So that's how easy it is to do. I could change the bottom of it a little bit as well and kind of bring it out. Oh, is that angle? Oh yeah, satin stitches. Okay, never mind. I'll leave it like that. I was thinking because there'll be ground there. Okay, let's change this to go up. And all you have to do for the leaves, let's do it on this one, is all you have to do is go in and add some nodes. And I'll zoom right in so you guys can see. I like the combo of the solid and the blended. Yeah, me too. That's how I like remember seeing them. That all the bright, beautiful colors and whatnot. So that's just kind of how I remember it. And I thought, oh, that's even more brilliant. Just fancy and not fancy. So we're gonna play around our with our nodes. So back into node mode, back into playing around with your Bezier nodes here. And it doesn't have to be perfect or smooth or anything. It's a leaf. You can go this way or that way. You can do higher or lower. Let's pull this one out a little bit. See, there you go. That was so easy to do. And but like that, I guess. Now I'm going to change this one into a line and this one into a line and move this up or delete it I could. And boom, you have half a leaf. So then you don't even have to do any lines on top. So awesome. So let's we got to convert it first. I'm thinking ahead of myself. So complex fill, and that angle is fine for me. Then I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste, and then I am going to flip it. And look at that. It almost looks perfect. So the angles, see how they go opposite? And you do want a little bit of an overlap, but that'll work fine. Isn't that a great way to easily make it? And then you can do this one. Let's rotate it a little bit. Now I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. And I'm going to bring it over here. And you can either flip it up there or you can spin it. Now, it's the exact same shape as I had over there, so to make it look a bit different, we can pull it out a little bit, stretch it out, or we can do that and make it smaller. So then it doesn't look nearly as, perfectly the same. So you can reuse, copy and paste. You can reuse your shapes that you create. So then I played around a little bit more and I changed the colors. So look at this guy. He doesn't have any color blending, but I did use the jagged edge, and I could put it up a little bit more. And I think for this one, I would curve it around like this. So like make the extensions to it, and I've got my leaves and I've got the satin stitches and I've got two wild colors with a little bit extra, but you can play around with it super easy. Another thing is, if you wanted to add in your own color, say you wanted 3 colors is what I mean, you can go ahead and do that. Some of the pansies are quite amazing looking. But how do you do that? Well, let's start there. And we're just going to do the same thing we've been doing. And just put it up to the red. And we're going to have it stitch out first because we want the red on top. But back and forth, I did zigzags here. I don't want zigzags. And just randomly do it and hit enter. And there you go. Look at that for detail. Now remember, you have to have this big enough to do, and I didn't mean to do the zigzag. So look at this part. You've just added a 3rd color in. Isn't that awesome? One thing I have done is copy a leaf or petal or flower, resize, and so, yep, it's easy. You just got to make it look a little bit different. These ones are exactly the same, and you can kind of tell. Although in reality, in nature, they're pretty much the same. A leaf for something other than size. So that's why I thought this would work. Doesn't that look great? So you can play around with color blending, but I love my happy pansies, I think it's really super easy to do, and you can pick which extra ones that, you know, details that you like. I like this one the best. I like this effect the best, so doing the fringe end and then adding more for a blend. I don't necessarily like these black parts at all. This one kind of looks better. And the two solid colors at the back. So there you go. And remember where we started off, our humble beginnings was a circle, and a circle for this one as well, and we just played around with it. So lots of ideas, lots of colors, lots of gorgeous flowers to play around with it. So I think I'm going to pick the parts that I like best and put it into one, and make it look great from there. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. They do look so happy. They look like they're just smiling because they're created. Oh, I also cut the big petals out. So I did remove overlaps for the big petals, not for these ones, because it would affect our overlay here. So I did cut them out because this is a whole petal down here and we don't need that to stitch out. But awesome. I hope you guys like this. I hope that you guys will get making some flowers. Yeah, happy dancing flowers. This guy's boogieing. He's really bent over like that. Sue has an embroidery motivation power. Yes, I do. It's my super power. Can we get a mug rug with some of the color blend flowers? Oh, that might be a good idea. That could be fun, couldn't it? There'll be more flowers coming. Lots of things for you guys to try. If you have a circle, then you have a pansy. So share with everyone. Make sure you hit the like button. Support the channel. If you can't donate, which is fine, then everything else is free. So like, share with your embroidery friends. For the life of me, I don't know why so many people are missing out on these, because this is completely different digitizing that people don't do. I don't know why they don't do it, but get everyone to watch. They'll be amazed. They can enjoy being more creative. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will make some pansies and stitch them out. Yes, I'll make a mug rug. And I'll see you guys on Saturday for the dime door. Bye everyone. Bye.